I'm not. I have 4 years of film on reasons why Florida State is not going to return my emails, and I completely understand that. That being said, what y'all act like I know who I am. I know what I said. I don't care, but I know what I said.
But you want to be this good guy. You that guy. You that guy that, oh, woe is me. They picking on me. And you done told you want 100 to march down this man's street. You said you want to send moving vans and put a for sale sign in front of his house that he live in. I don't want you to be rooting for my team like that. Not like you root for your team.
Not like that.
You root for your team different.
He might be the worst fan in the history of fans. That's such a great clip.
It is. It's an amazing clip. You know what's even better? Let me hydrate. It's been a week. You know what's even better? 2 5-stars and a 4-star in the same week. That's even better. That's even better.
Maybe all that shit Mr. Costellos is talking is getting people to want to commit.
I don't want no humble pie ass quarterback. I want my quarterback to think he good enough to lift us in every game. Point blank, period. Again, I know what I said the last 3 years, and I meant every word of it. But it's June.
I hear what you're saying, but it's a slippery slope, and it's a thin line between confident and delusions of grandeur. Because I watched him play last year at Boston College, and when he had the opportunity to hit open receivers, he didn't. So if he thinks that he's just gonna run around like he did at BC, I don't know how many wins that's gonna translate to when you start playing the more high caliber teams. Y'all will beat some scrubs. You know what I mean? Based on sure talent, you should beat some scrubs. But he calling out Bama. He say Clemson.
This ain't your daddy, Bama.
He said this ain't Nick Saban's Bama. He ain't worried. Man, that's a lot of tough talk. But we acting like Bama wasn't good before Nick Saban showed up. But you know what? Keep all that energy. Keep all of it. Because you still got to go out there and put up. Because it's put up or shut up. He going to run into the wrong one. He going to get his ass laid out.
I like this. Do you saw what we had last year? It wasn't no fight. Nobody showed nobody no fight. Nobody.
They ain't show no fight for you, man.
We got a coach named Pork Roast. Yes, I like this. Shout out to while we giving Florida State all this love and Mike Norville all this love for recruiting. A few things. Coach Repress is the last coach in Tallahassee that was on a national championship staff. Right? That's at Florida. He's at Florida State. So while you go on giving all these high fives to everybody, make sure Repress get that high five. Make sure we give Repress that high five because when FAMU won the national championship, he was over at FAMU. Now
hey, let me ask you a question. Is Mike Norvell still the head coach?
Yep.
Yes.
And y'all are doomed.
Nope. He not on the headset. He not on the headset. I'm not worried. He not on the headset. That was my concern that he was going to be on the headset. He not on the headset. It has been explained to me that it won't be an LSU situation to where all of a sudden we on the goal line and somebody called the toss sweep. We understand who is actually running the offense. I'm okay
He
with that.
cannot manage a game. It ain't nothing about the play calling. It's about strictly game management. And he has showed time and time again that he is incapable. So unless he is not the head coach, I don't have any faith.
We got 2 former head coaches. I'm feeling much better than I was 6 months ago.
So do you want an argument on the sideline? Because when Mike Norvell calls some dumb shit and they call him out, but he got too much pride to say, yeah, you're right. Now you're gonna be arguing on the sideline. It's gonna look worse.
You know I got $35 a week for Powerball, right? Just understand that. I'm gonna hit sooner or later. That being said, this is probably all of this that's been going on the last 72 hours. Probably been the best news at Florida State in a very long time, outside of women's sports. Best news at Florida State.
I would agree. I would agree.
So I don't want to pull their podcast up, but I'll speak on it. Right.
Might well go ahead and do it. Let's do
Go
it.
ahead, pull it up.
Pull it up. Let's start. So I'm in the group chat with Banks and hey. I'm in the group chat with all of them.
And I was minding my own swag business, and don't get me wrong, I love No Chill Sports. Them some good dudes. I met them at Media Day. Good dudes, real good dudes. But it's some things that I saw that I was like, wait. October the 11th really is on the way. I don't want to log into this browser, but hold on, let me. Again, let me go ahead and present this screen share. All right, so hopefully y'all can see the whole screen. All right, so this is a clip from No Chill's podcast yesterday. And hopefully everybody can hear everything, but this is what I saw.
So you telling me that all the SWAT do is dance and stroll at on Saturday?
Hell, look like church to me. It look like it might as well be Sunday at noon. Yeah.
Let's dial back
on the field though.
I need you to understand something now. Okay, all of that is beautiful, and I admire it, and I love all of it. And you roll that goddamn football out. You understand me? We don't care if it's 1, 10,000, or 50,000 in the stands. When it comes to football, see, the religion of football is about all of the culture. You think about when you go to church. Church ain't just about you going there and you praying. It's not just about, who can pray the best. Church is about culture. The reason why in the South they say football is a culture. In the Southwest Athletic Conference, they talk about football being a religion. It's because of all of the pomp and circumstance that goes along with it. It is as if you are going to church. But in between 60 minutes, in between the lines, from football on tee, with 15 minutes in the first quarter, to all zeros at the end of the fourth quarter, that is not even a question. We do that. That is what we do. We play football in this conference. Go ahead, be my fault, bro.
You know, I'll just if I can simplify that church analogy, I feel like the SWAC is all about praise and worship. They'll give you, they'll go crazy for some damn praise, for some daggone
I should have
praise.
never said
right.
the church analogy.
But when it comes to the amen, you hold that note.
I know the Lord, He hears my cry.
Oh, let me tell you something.
Hey, if dude could have jumped through the camera, he would have.
Oh shit, that shit was funny, man.
I'm sorry.
Football is a religion.
You're from the South, but
the MEAC is Bible study. Let's get this straight. It's 17 national championships at FAMU, 16 national championships at Grambling State. It is 8 or 9 at Southern. Do I need to keep going? Long.
Keep going, Pastor. Keep going.
Long. See, y'all don't seem to understand. Not that long ago, it was Billy Joel in the MEAC with them Samoan guards teaching y'all how to run. 2 straight national championships and a playoff run. Long.
But see, we gotta draw the correlation between actual religion and football, right? Because everywhere they're not taught Monday through Sunday football. That's not engraved in them. It's not put in their face. Either you like it or you don't like it. Because there's a lot of people that only go to church on Sunday and they claim they're religious, right? That they not living those values Monday through Saturday, but Sunday they show up, because that's the norm. See, when it comes to football, we don't just show up to play on Saturday. You feel me? It's Sunday through Friday. We still in the classroom. We watching it. We talking about it. It's something that embodies the South, and I think that's what he was trying to say. Because and everything is all love and war, right? Outside of those 60 minutes. But when we get on that field, I ain't got no friends on the other sideline. I got my brothers that's with me, that's dressed like me. I got aunts that's coaching, and we going to war. And you can call it a religious war. It's a crusade on your ass. But that's what's gonna happen.
I'm listen. I tried to the best of my ability, and Jamal isn't here. I'm not sure when he'll get in. Marlo isn't here. I tried to the best of my ability to let them handle FAMU stuff on the podcast. On Twitter, I don't care. On the podcast, I do my best to let them handle it. But what I saw last night, y'all act like them 17 national championships just happened out of nowhere. And the worst of the time, them 17 national championships happened. And the last 2, since we talking SWAC MEAC, the last 2 years, it's only been SWAC.
Well, let's put it like this. Okay, so we talking about FAMU, some of the championships came from the SIAC. Most of them came from the SIAC. Some came from the MEAC, and then they got the one in the SWAC. But when you look at how the MEAC was formed, the schools that's in the MEAC, all of them was in the CIAA except for South Carolina State. They just call it spade spade. They all was in a Division II conference for the most part, and then they broke away because they didn't, smaller schools, smaller private schools couldn't keep up with the bigger, larger state, public schools. And then let's keep it clear. Let's keep it 100. Football is a religion football is everything in the South. But being here from Texas, football is a way of life for us. It's Sunday through Sunday. There's no time off for us. Sunday through Sunday. In fact, the real thing about it, once the 1st of August comes, here in Texas, where all the kids can go out, they get their conditioning, they go out there, put the first day of pads on. It's nonstop from August all the way to December. And then it don't even stop there because you got other things that goes on, conditioning, you got that's dealing with football. 7-on-7.
Those 2 months is cold, we in the house.
We in the house.
December, January, we in the house. February it start warming back up, and we getting ready for spring ball. 7-on-7. You got to get your agility in the off season. Offensive line, defensive line, everybody got to have dexterity, and that's when it's earned.
I'll be honest with you, Troy. The MEAC doing all this talking so they can stay relevant.
All I know is FAMU was 2-0 in the MEAC last year. That's what I know. And the school that lost in the national championship game won the MEAC and got beat in Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ain't beating that school in Owensburg and you want to talk about October the 11th, yes, I'm telling you, bet your eyebrows. You wanted to bet both of them, I ain't got no problem betting both of these eyebrows. My eyebrows grow back quick. Win, lose, draw.
Look, there's something them folks in the MEAC got to understand. Just because you have football at your school does not mean you're a football school.
Boom.
Well, listen.
Hey, Doc.
Listen.
Doc.
Hey,
you don't live where you stay, and you don't stay where you live. You better let them know.
Oh,
listen.
yeah.
Listen, all of this talk is beautiful. It's way too early.
But let's be real though. Like you said, that school in Orangeburg represented the MEAC in the Celebration Bowl. They was in the national championship game and got dog walked. The game
backwards.
Backwards.
I was there as media.
I'm talking. Appreciate you, Mr. Johnny. Mr. Johnny played for North Carolina Central back in the day in the 70s.
Oh yeah, I saw that last night. I definitely saw that last night.
Shout out to Mr. Johnny. But let's get it straight. South Carolina State got dog walk backwards, forwards, sideways, every which way you can. That game should have been 42-0. I'm telling you, Travis Terrell, if they would not call that penalty on the kickoff return with Travis Terrell, it was a blowout. We were the more dominant team against the MEAC last season. In fact, the only team that beat the SWAC from the MEAC was Central, and the only reason that happened was because QB1 and QB2 for Bama State got hurt.
Was that the only MEAC win versus the SWAC?
From my knowledge, yeah.
We
could pull it up.
I'm not, listen, I don't want nobody to think that I'm discrediting what North Carolina Central has done over the last 4 years, right? They've done yeoman's work. But Josh said it himself. They've stubbed their own toe after they won that national championship. There's Howard beating them.
Oh, and giving them the business with a 50 burger on them.
Listen.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Listen.
That was embarrassing.
And I was all willing yesterday to be like, look, all this attendance MEAC stuff, let's throw that out the window because Maryland has the exact same problem. Maryland had no sellouts last year. None. They've had 3 in 3 years. So I was willing to give MEAC all this grace on this attendance stuff and say, listen, y'all stop jumping on the MEAC if y'all ain't gonna jump on Maryland, Syracuse, and all the other schools. But what I heard last night hurt me to my heart.
Oh, that was ridiculous, man.
I was like, wait, so we just act like Billy Joe wasn't running the MEAC? Like, I get it. North Carolina A&T had a good 3-year run, but we gonna act like Billy Joe wasn't running the MEAC. That didn't happen. We gonna act like FAMU didn't teach y'all that if you go get some big boys, because Billy Joe went got some Samoans, and put them in the middle of the line and said, we're gonna throw the ball.
Do your thing.
But 15 times a game, we finna run downhill.
But here's the thing. Here's another thing. I don't think some folks in the MEAC understand that. They just put it like this. In the 70s, the 60s, and the 70s, in the SWAC, Grambling ran the whole show. Grambling, that black and gold, that school in North Louisiana was whooping everybody's ass.
Everybody. But I think that we just it's interesting listening to people talk, right? Because people either are ignorant to the facts or they just have selective memory. Like, there are whole conversations surrounding football where people can't remember Eddie. Like, how?
That's all right. We already got your $5. Mr. Thornton gave you $5, so we good.
But seriously, it's like, and so then we start arguing over, well, I feel this and I feel that. Well, my opinion is this and my opinion is that. Listen here, men lie, women lie, facts don't. Don't come to me arguing with your feelings. Give me some facts. If you can't give me facts, bro, go sit in the corner. Go sit at the kids' table. Because your little kitty opinion means
they
nothing.
They don't even be having opinions. They be having excuses. And like my coach told me,
right?
Everybody got an excuse like an asshole. Everybody got one, and it's thank.
That is thank. That's crazy.
And I want everybody to understand. Crazy. We absolutely love HBCU Nightly. We love Josh. We love Banks. But, and no chill, I'm not finna let y'all off the hook. Y'all have been instigators the last week. Y'all 100% have been instigators. The streets was quiet. You know what? Let me put up a chart of rivalries. And it's been guns in the street ever since. So, we love no chill, but they've been instigators. And last night was Last Man Hit My Hand.
I had the two perfect people for last night's show on there.
Keep talking shit. Just keep that. Keep building that narrative. But then when you get your pen pulled down, respectfully, shut the fuck up.
Hey, Tiffany, you want me to tell you a little secret that nobody's talking about? I'm not even talking about it, but I know it. Nobody's talking about the fact that the MEAC as a conference has not opted into the House settlement as a conference. And I'm just talking about the football schools. As a conference, they have not set their roster limit. You know who has? You know what FCS conference has the largest roster limit?
The SWAC.
The SWAC.
So the number one thing that wins games are trenches and depth. Quarterback play is right behind that. But if I got more guys to run in than you do, 9 times out of 10, I got a better chance of winning. And if the SWAC is still at 65, if the MEAC is still at 65, and you rolling into Tallahassee against 105, that's a decided advantage.
And let's not forget, coaching matters.
And hold on, and Mr. Thornton, Mr. Thornton, I want to make sure, because I'm a very historical guy. I am a huge proponent. I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I say it all the time. I prefer the poll system over winning on the field because we lose money. That being said, we need to also acknowledge that the SWAC, the SIAC, were the best conferences coming up. And I keep saying this and nobody wants to hear it. Florida A&M was the best football school in the state of Florida, period. The next school, until they stopped playing football, was the University of Tampa. Fun fact. So I completely acknowledge that. But what we also need to acknowledge, and I'm not forgetting Tennessee State. Tennessee State was out there doing their thing too.
Yeah, Big Blue was doing their thing. Grambling was doing their thing. I mean,
Tennessee State was one of the premier schools until they made their deal with the state.
Who else we can say? I mean, you go back, if you can go back and look at it. Of course, South Carolina State was Morehouse was good.
Tuskegee used to run through the site I mean, their program it's such a storied program, and I feel like we lose so much of our history and the stories behind it because we stop telling stories. We stop telling stories. And that's one of my biggest gripes about communications people, right? When you're in a position where you can tell the story of your institution and you don't, what are you there for? What, like, it's so much more than just stats.
We're forgetting what the H stands for in HBCU.
Exactly. That's my whole thing. It's like, why aren't you telling the history?
Bet your chest out.
Because that part matters. That part matters.
Bet your chest hat.
Wait a minute. Is this game gonna be on ESPN Plus or it's gonna be on HBCU Go? Because I gotta tune in on this.
I don't know if we got that. We have the mothership has not rolled out its schedule yet. It should be coming out soon. You know what they're gonna do if they think this is gonna be a premier marquee matchup. You know they're gonna snatch it.
Yeah,
you know they're gonna snatch it.
Yeah. I just say it because October 11th is a couple of days after me and the wife's birthday. I want to watch that game just because I really why am I saying this? But I really want to see Josh and Central just cry in the corner.
I think he said he's coming to Tallahassee. I think he said he's coming to Tallahassee.
He gonna be on the sideline in Tallahassee?
I think he said he's coming to Tallahassee.
What day is the game in Vegas?
The 25th.
25th. The 25th.
Yep.
Of September?
Yep.
October.
Yep.
There's a 3-game run where HBCU sports should be like prime time because it's NCCU, it's FAMU homecoming, and then it's the game in Vegas.
And then the following week is the game is pretty much, to me, I feel like it determines the division.
Yeah, November 1. Yep, November 1st. So
Jackson State versus FAMU.
FAMU, yep, in Tallahassee. So it's
in Tallahassee. Yep.
You can't mess this up. This is like ESPN. You cannot mess this up. You need to have all these games either on 2, on the mothership, and that's it. It shouldn't be no paywall. It shouldn't be no plus. It shouldn't be no ESPNU. This is marketing gold. And
Hey,
we
when
already
the
know
last time a MEAC school won the Black National Championship?
3
It
years
was
ago.
3 years ago with Central.
Central won, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. 'Cause I know Jackson State won, FAMU won.
Yep. It was
Central won
Central,
before that, and then South Carolina,
State.
Yes, and then SC State.
But again, like, I just want to make sure everybody know we got love for Josh and HBCU Nightly and Banks. Banks is a provocateur. Banks and MEAC Mike was the reason why I had that drop of Alexa. How many national championships has Morgan State won? And again, they won more than Alexa knew because at the time they had not updated their Wikipedia and their website on their national championships. So it came back with 0, but I think it's actually 3. So
Nah, MEAC might just be talking out the side of his neck.
He do. He absolutely do. Yeah. But again, since we're talking relevance of football conference, that school in Daytona won a Black National Championship in the MEAC as well. Just so we clear, when we start talking about the history of football and what the sermon is the SWAC. The MEAC is Bible study. And that's fine. That is absolutely fine because the South football is religious. Actual football. You're going to get these 17 national championships along with the March of 100. Just so we clear. It ain't one or the other.
And then the barbecue going to be fresh out and ready after the game.
Well, you're going to get these 16 national championships and the world fame going to be marching down your damn block.
You know what I'm saying? It's not one or the other. You get both.
You're going to get that human jukebox. Oh, my God. Since we on football.
Pastor give you the word and he give you some hymns as well.
You saw what I sent you earlier, right?
Yeah. So, I saw it.
What do you think about that?
So, all right. Y'all know Florida State, right? You want to see me flip out? Let me see the Marching Chiefs ever play Nick. I'm flipping out. I'm going to get kicked out the alumni group ASAP. What I should never see a video and hear the human jukebox. I should never, ever see something that's not them that I know I'm hearing, because I know what I'm hearing. It's the level of disrespect is I'm trying to be.
That was disrespectful. I'm gonna just put it just like
no, you know what? Hold on. This ain't that show. But you know what it is, though? You know what it is?
The disrespect segment.
Uh-oh.
What in the you ain't even LSU do you think you doing? What in the you ain't never posted no live videos of your marching band playing nothing? You ain't even Ohio State. Why is you playing that? Because you got a bad coach.
That's what it is. That is what it is. Those came from. Wait a minute. He coached at Marshall. He's a Hampton grad, but ain't shit what I sent you have anything to do with the pride of Southern Mississippi or University of Stealing Money, as I like to call them. Yeah. Hey, USM, when y'all gonna get that money back to the state of Mississippi for Brett Favre stealing that money from the welfare? When y'all gonna get that back to the state?
I would have preferred them just playing a David Banner song rather than
No,
playing.
don't even do that because that's Jackson. That's Jackson. Clearly,
and I'm trying. No, I'm not. I ain't trying to be respectful. I actually started a disrespectful segment. It is at most. I'm sorry, at least disrespectful. At most, it's cultural appropriation. At the highest of festivity, it is tone deaf. You are telling every person that looked like me that's in your alumni base and fan base that whatever little band y'all got ain't good enough, so we're going to go over here and steal this. And on top of that, the SID at USM, okay, that video going out. Y'all thought that was okay. So clearly, somebody over there is tone deaf. And I love the fact that y'all got a black coach, but right now, for a little bit, I hope y'all get y'all teeth kicked in the first 4 games.
oh, they see us too. Second game of the season.
So, I again like the coach, like the hire, but this done pissed me off. Like I can't even be a fan of the game because of as some other podcasts would say, the pomp and circumstance around the foolishness. So, but you know, that happened. So I saw your comment earlier about the Celebration Bowls. We've had several of these win it on the field games, and it has been Heritage Bowl, Celebration Bowl. It might have been another one. So, but yes, it's in the last 4 years, it's 2-2, right? It is 12, 13. We had 25. I don't think we had 25 Celebration Bowls.
No, he's saying 12, 13, 25, which is
okay.
December 13th.
Okay. All right. So again, we're gonna see how that turned out. But I want everybody to understand that these winning on the field games, this isn't new. Celebration Bowl is just the latest edition. But that being said, it's been some news, right? It's been some news. And when I saw the news happen, right? When I saw the news happen, the first thing I thought about was TP. Because the NBA can't never let a moment have a moment, right? So we didn't even get to Game 7. And the Houston Rockets was like, you know what? I'm tired of all this noise with everybody else. Let me go ahead and make some noise. So for Kevin Durant and 5 second-round draft picks, the Phoenix Suns got who did y'all give up, TP?
Jalen
Green, 5 first-round draft picks.
And the number 10 pick. We gave up Jalen Green, the number 10 pick in the upcoming draft, and 5 second rounders.
And Dylan Brooks.
So,
and you knowing me, I wasn't mad.
You wasn't mad because you get rid of Jalen Green, and you get a score. You get 25 points a game, basically.
26 last year.
26 points a game. He's never been below 25.
Yeah,
and 50%.
Not since his rookie year.
And he shoots 50% from the field.
I think Russell Westbrook coming back to Houston too.
Hold on now. Let me check them sources right there before you say something like that.
Oh, this the TP trying
to. I heard James Harden might come back too.
So first off, if James Harden was really going back to Houston, TP would be crashing out. I'm not worried about it. TP would be crashing out. So we know that's fake news. We already know that's fake news. But that was quite a move. That was quite a move. And then on top of that move, the Boston Celtics said, you know what? We just sold this team. We not finna be in the second apron. We finna get up on the second apron. So they got rid of oh man, why I can't think his name all of a sudden. Drew Holiday. They bring back Anthony Simon, who can score points, but maybe defensive deficient. But the crazy part is that the Portland Trailblazers are up for sale, and they just took a $40 million contract. But
it's an expiring $40 million contract.
Yeah, expires in 2 years. Expires not this year, next year. So the Boston Celtics save $5 million on the actual salary cap, but save $40 million on the second apron. The NBA will do anything to keep Golden State from winning another world championship.
Hey, this just in right here, Troy. The New Orleans Pelicans are trading C.J. McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, and a future second-round pick to the Washington Wizards for Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and the number 40 pick in Wednesday's NBA draft.
They had to trade all them so they could get Zion some more Ozempic. That's all. You know, Ozempic costs, so they had to get some salary cap money. That's all that is. Don't push your nose too much over that.
Oh my goodness. So the Hornets not Hornets, but the Pelicans are basically they blowing the whole thing up.
Yeah.
They are blowing the whole thing up.
I do not, if they find a taker for Zion, he gone.
Yeah.
He gone. I don't think anybody's signing up for Zion. So that was.
Hey, some of them HBCU they signed real quick. What? TP, what's wrong?
I ain't say nothing.
TP, look at the screen. TP.
Oh, wait a minute. There's another one came in. Boy, this is NBA night. Sources say the Boston Celtics will send Kristaps Porzingis to the Atlanta Hawks in a 3-team deal.
Yeah, they say they agreed to it. This just got updated about an hour ago. So the Hawks, the Celtics, and the Brooklyn Nets agreed to a 3-team deal today that saw the Celtics send Kristaps Porzingis and a second-round pick to the Hawks, while Terrence Mann and Atlanta's number 22 pick are going to Brooklyn. And
hey, man, hold on. Why y'all do that no like that? Why y'all do him nasty like that? Y'all ain't have to send him to the Nets.
And then George Niang is in a second rounder is going to the Celtics. So basically, what the Celtics, like you said, the Celtics are doing is trying to get out of that second apron of the luxury tax. Well, you wouldn't be in the luxury tax if you have two players that have $300 million contracts.
And one hurt. One hurt. Listen. I like Jason Tatum. I do. However, what I've seen with my two eyes, and now with the injury issue, is that maybe Jason Tatum ain't the franchise of the Boston Celtics. I know y'all want light skin royalty to be the franchise, but maybe it's actually Jason Tatum. I mean Jason Brown, Jaylen Brown. Maybe.
It was Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, he brought the star quality, and he also had the best all-around game. We know that Jaylen Brown can score. We know that he's going to play defense. But the things Jason Tatum was able to do, I don't know if Jaylen Brown can completely fill those shoes. Because those are some big shoes to fill. But I will tell you this. We going to find out.
Listen, here's the problem with it being both of them, right? The problem with it being both of them is that's $300 million on a team that just sold. So you are an owner who just bought $1 billion franchise, and the first thing you find out is the bulk of your salary cap is tied up in two players. So the thing that made the Boston Celtics amazing was their depth. That is gone. If I don't know if Derek White, and I have come to respect Derek White. I don't necessarily like Derek White, but I've come to respect Derek White's game. If you can't hold on to Derek White, y'all in trouble.
I don't think they're in trouble if they can't hold on to Derek White, because they still got Gabe Pritchard. They got a lot of other players that's equivalent to Derek White on the team. But what I'm saying is, but Derek White is that part, is like almost part of that missing piece, because he does bring you defense off the bench. He does bring you a lot of scoring off the bench too. He's a better all-around player coming off the bench. Now, the thing about it is that when the Celtics, when whoever owned the Celtics, when he sold the team, did he sell the team and the arena? Because I think both of them are tied in with one another. But to me, the Celtics shouldn't even be a $1 billion team. The Celtics should be more than, like, really more than that. If you sold the Celtics for $1 billion.
No, it wasn't. I just used the billion number. They sold for $6.1 billion.
Okay, I'm about to say, because that's a storied franchise.
Yeah, no, they sold for 6.1, which is also why everybody is selling NBA teams, because they just got the media rights deal. So you locked in.
So, but then too, it's like, here's one thing. Nobody don't need to pick up Kristaps Porzingis anymore. He's a bust. He's been a bust. He's always going to be a bust. I'm sorry. You call him the unicorn. I know you had him in New York. We had him here in Dallas. He stole money from both franchises. I think he stole money from Boston. Don't pick him up. If I'm Atlanta, hey, drop him. Because he's injury prone. You don't know if he's going to be there for 10 games, 20 games, 30 games, 40 games. Like, seriously, let him go. Terrence Mann, I think here's the big mistake. I think the Clippers should have never let Mann go.
They held on to him, as when I say they was strangle holding on to him for as long as they possibly could. Maybe he'll get to a point where he can be an all-star, but he was never going to be an all-star in LA. But they was trying to hold on to him for dear life, because he was always going to be a 6-7 man off the bench in LA.
Well, Anthony Simons, he could score the ball, he's not even a big guard. He's only like 6'3", so he's in the same build as Steph Curry, but he ain't got that type of shot like that. But he can get his shot off the dribble. He is a defensive liability. Then when you start looking at it, because now look, tomorrow is the first night of the draft, because they decided that they're going to split the draft into 2 nights. First round tomorrow night, second round Thursday. to me, it all boils down to like how many teams are going to be willing to deal in between today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Well, we saw it with Houston Sunday, getting KD. Now, here's the thing: if I'm the Suns, you got Jalen Green. Somebody said that they don't want him. They want to move him. They want to ship him somewhere else.
They're gonna move him en route.
But how about is Bradley Beal's contract? Is it expiring? So remember, Bradley Beal still has a no trade clause. He's the only person that's holding up anything for Houston, not for Houston, but for Phoenix to be an actual pretty good team, to be a playoff team.
Don't that sound just like a boot skin?
Never miss an opportunity.
At all.
So, but you get what I'm saying? Like Bradley Beal
absolutely.
He's that piece. Like to me, for you to get a no trade clause in your contract and you not be a superstar, but you are a can we call him a star player?
No.
Okay then. So
this 26-27 is his last season. 27 to 28, he's an unrestricted free agent. Yeah, so
but see when he as an unrestricted free agent, does that no trade clause follow him if he signs a new deal somewhere else?
No, that's the end of that. That no trade clause dies with the unrestricted free agent.
Okay, good.
So yeah, he
so you gotta suffer 2 more years of Bradley Beal either half-assing it in Phoenix, being whether he's hurt, whether he's unhappy, but you got 2 more years of him half-assing, collecting all that money, and then what you gonna do after that? As the Suns.
I kind of wish DK was here. I really wanted to hear DK opinion on this because I know that's his team. But the Suns ain't been good since Barkley was there. And until...
So we're just going to bypass the year Steve Nash won the MVP. You just throw that whole season out. It wasn't good that year.
We was going to talk about him 2 seasons where he got an MVP he ain't deserved, then got in the playoffs and laid an absolute egg.
Yeah, those years.
Oh.
Because Charles Barkley ain't win one either.
I will agree. But
what are we talking about?
Or let's talk about how Monty Williams had that team and they was in the playoffs and they was humming and then they decided to let him go.
I keep telling you that some teams curse themselves. The Bucks cursed themselves for a very long time behind Doug Williams. Could very possibly be another situation in Phoenix where you are going well and you just pull the trigger for no reason at all. But this is a lot going on. Absolute shout out to the NBA for ending their season and keeping us engaged. We should probably talk about Game 7.
Let's talk about it.
Because it's a lot. In
the first quarter. Tragic injury.
Can we tell the truth about that injury? That injury was not caused by NBA players needing rest. That injury was caused because we have children playing way too many games way too early in life. Little League Baseball and Major League Baseball had this problem and they figured it out. Why aren't we figuring this out in basketball? We have basketball used to have foot injuries. You had Hall of Famers have deteriorating feet or ankles because of bad shoes. So we don't have ankles as much as we used to.
I
But
think regardless, playing or practicing, because you tell a kid you got to work harder than the next guy, and then that guy's working harder, then it goes down the line, and everybody is fighting to get to the same position of getting to the NBA. Whether they're playing games or practicing, the wear and tear is going to be there. The problem is people playing through injuries, lower body injuries, because we all knew that Halliburton going into that game was not 100% healthy.
But
we also knew that Jason Tatum, before his injury, was not 100% healthy. And the same thing with Dame. He had already missed games at the end of the season and going into the playoffs. We knew he was not 100%. All of these guys that tore Achilles, they were injured or hurt before actually tearing their Achilles tendon.
So let's kind of go back down the line. So Dame injury came in the first round of the playoffs. Jason Tatum's came in the second round, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Halliburton came in the game 7 of the NBA Finals, which he was on. And you really think about it, he was on the road. He was cooking until that happened. Now, I say, I kind of heard like what Matt Barnes was saying about players like the AAU circuit and stuff like that. You play so many games on the AAU circuit, plus you playing your high school games, plus you playing pickup, you playing all these other, you playing horse, you playing pig, whatever you want to play. And then you do your practice and stuff like that. So by the time a kid gets to college, they don't, with AAU and stuff, they in high school, they done played an equivalent of 6 seasons of basketball. That's a lot. I mean, you can say that doesn't really bother a kid, but when you really think about it, that's a lot of wear and tear on your body. And then coming into the NBA and stuff like that. So people always complain about load management and stuff like that. People complaining that the players don't want to play this, X amount of games and stuff. But do they have an actual point? Do you like? I don't know how many players this season had played either between full 82 or even like 75 games this season. And then on top of that, when you get it, if your team make the playoffs, you're playing almost what you got. It's best out of 7 in first round, second round. Was it first round, semis, conference finals, and the NBA finals? So that's 35 games. So that's equivalent. You playing 40% of the NBA schedule in the playoffs. So the deal with Halliburton and Jason Tatum, because let's put it like this: they played almost a whole full season the year before. They played in the Olympics, even though they didn't play as much. And then they come back in for the new season, and they play the whole season going to the playoffs, and you see what happened. They never gave their body any type of time to recover and heal itself. Like,
are you ready for this stat? because they haven't compiled it for this season, but the closest season they have is 23-24. 11 players in the season 23-24 play all 82 games. 11. Now, there's a whole bunch of different reasons for that. Rest, injuries, but just think about that. 32 teams, 11 guys play all 82 games. That's...
Well, I bet you they wasn't no guards. I bet you most of them were big men.
Yeah, probably so. Probably so. And again, and I love the NBA. Don't get me wrong, right? I love the NBA. I think some of this stuff happens before kids even get to college, because we see it. I'm seeing it now. People are living vicariously through their kids and pushing them sometimes when they shouldn't. The NBA is going to have to figure it out. MLB figured it out. The NBA is going to have to figure it out.
I don't think the NBA is going to have to figure it out.
I mean, they're going to have to figure it out with youth sports and all of that, because
I think it's on the individual person. I mean, as far as in the league, I think it's on the individual person. But yeah, like you said, with the NBA and NCAA too, dude, let's get into that. The NCAA gonna have to figure something out, because if you're on the traveling AAU squad and you going to all these different places and you're playing like 6, 7, 8 games in a day, like you ain't got no type of time to rest. Like seriously, I'm sorry. I'm like, hey, I got to sit down somewhere.
I'm gonna say this as best I can. You parents that are at these weekend youth sports events, and you see these, and I'm gonna call them private coaches, asking you about your child, I'm straight. You have a nice day. No child 9 years old should be worried about what they're going to be doing in middle school and high school. That should not even be a thought. Yes, we want our kids to have the best, but understand that devil that you dance with. And I'm going to say it like that. And for the parents that watch me at ASU Sports, y'all know what I'm talking about. And for the private coaches that got a problem with me, I'll be out there Saturday. We can talk about it. So, but getting back to the actual game, for a quarter, Indiana looked like they was going to make it a game. They looked like they was going to make it a game. I would like to say shout out to the Billy Ho twins, Alex Caruso and McConnell. They put on for Billy Ho. They 100% put on for Billy Ho. So, but so OKC got their second world championship.
No,
they got one in Seattle. One in Seattle. One in OKC.
I was about to say.
Yeah. So, you know, it was different, right? I wasn't necessarily excited for this NBA Finals, but it was some good competitive games. There was some good competitive games. To the NBA players that said Halliburton was overrated, I think y'all might owe him an apology. You know, I could be wrong, but I think maybe y'all owe him an apology. He played his heart out. I wonder if that was in the back of his mind when he decided to play when he was hurt.
I mean, he was busting everybody's ass. I ain't gonna lie to you on that.
Okay, Danny, love you. We saw something special. We saw BBL Drizzy won the NBA Finals MVP and the NBA Finals. The Canadian is the top dog of the league.
Since when?
Shea is Canadian. Shea is Canadian.
Don't call that's so disrespectful.
It's USA over everybody. I'm still on that.
So he not black?
No. I didn't say he wasn't black. Drake is black.
No, he ain't
black.
Oh Lord. I was not prepared for that conversation.
Drake is a culture vulture. Let's not get into that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's a completely different story.
Oh man, oh wow, I wasn't prepared.
Can we not just get a man his flowers without the sidebar? Is that necessary?
He played well. I'm giving him. I
said without the sidebar. You came straight with the sidebar to the point where I didn't even know who you were talking about because it was so disrespectful.
I didn't know you was gonna say Drake wasn't black. My bad. I was not prepared for that. That wasn't on the team.
Not all the way.
But no, he has played well. He played like unlike some other foreign players. He played defense.
He won the triple crown of MVPs.
Mm-hmm.
Season MVP, Western Conference MVP, Finals MVP, while he hoisted the trophy. It's a great season. Now, whoever said that it was the greatest season of all time, I need them to go back and look at Michael Jordan's greatest season and come back and tell me if you still feel the same way. Because Michael Jordan won the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year and went on to win the Eastern Conference MVP and won the title. Like, I don't know, and averaged 35 a game. How you win Defensive Player of the Year and you average 35 a game? Greatest season of all time, hands down.
When you score 30 and you hold your opponent to 15, that's high. Wow, I think he averaged two steals a game that season. It was
2.5. 2.5. What is it? 2.2? I had to look at the exact number.
Yeah.
Huh?
He averaged a lot of steals.
Yeah.
He was all over the place.
So, but again, it was definitely. I made a joke that was like it's a middle America NBA Finals, and some of the ratings bore out to that because a lot of people didn't feel like they were seeing marquee names. But this OKC squad for the next 2 years could be very competitive for the next 2 years.
If you didn't know who Jalen Williams was, you know now.
Yeah.
He put the whole NBA on notice. Because it wasn't just Shy. Because they don't win that championship without Jalen. And I'm going to make sure he gets his flowers because there were times where he had to pick up where Shy wasn't getting his fouls and his shot wasn't going down. So somebody else, you got to have a Robin. Everybody has to have a Robin to the Batman. Even shit, with Scotty, you can say that was Batman and Batman because they don't win without each other. And I think that's a very fair assessment given Michael Jordan's 1-9 playoff record prior to Scotty showing up to Chicago. And then when you look at LeBron, he didn't win a championship until he had D Wade on the other side. He's had to have a Robin. Shaquille O'Neal, he had made it to the finals, got his ass swept, but he didn't win one until he had a Robin, Kobe Bryant. when Shaq left, Kobe didn't win another one until Paul Gasol was there. So everybody has had a Robin. You can look at Denver, Jokic, and Jamal Murray, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. The only there's maybe two guys I can say they did that shit by themselves. Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki. Those two guys, they did it by themselves. And they had role players. So you can't say that they were the entire team, but they didn't really have a Robin. They had some really good role players that did what they needed to help them win. But this last finals, Oklahoma City does not win without Jalen Williams. I don't care what Chet was doing. I don't care about Luke Dort. The rest of the guys, they were very good role players. They did what they had to, but they would not have won without Jalen Williams and what he was able to do when Shai wasn't at the top of his game.
No, like I said, I had not expected to enjoy Game 7 as much as I did outside the injury. So
it was a good game.
Yeah.
And Indiana, and I couldn't have been the only person sitting at home rooting for Indiana just because I wanted to see this underdog story come back, especially when they got down 20. They're like, it's over with. You know, I know people start turning the game off. I'm still watching because Indiana then came back from shit like that.
Yeah.
And minus Halliburton, I get it. That's a tough hill to climb. At the end of the day, them boys fought their ass off for 48 minutes. So shout out to Indiana. They didn't give up when Halliburton went down. TJ McConnell, he's going to be telling this story to his grandkids about his run in the NBA Finals because he was single-handedly putting the team on his back. That third quarter in Game 7, he scored 12 points. He scored the last 12 points for Indiana to end the third. I was just trying to figure the fuck out, where was Serge Ibaka? Where were you? Because while TJ McConnell was doing all this, I didn't see Ibaka.
You're talking about Pascal Siakam?
Siakam, yeah.
Pascal, I don't know why I called Pascal Siakam, my bad. Where the fuck was Siakam at, bro? Because we saw what TJ McConnell was doing. He was putting a lot of pressure on their defense, getting to the basket, hitting these mid-ranges. This was the perfect time for Pascal to be standing there wide open or for him to make a play, do something. You're supposed to be the Batman now that Tyrese Halliburton is on the sideline holding his ankle. It was supposed to be the Pascal show, but we didn't see that. Where was Miles Turner at? Like, the rest of the guys, they were still there playing some defense, but they weren't scoring. And that's what Indiana needed. They didn't get enough of that from the other role players on that roster. And that's ultimately why they lost. They didn't lose because Halliburton went down. They lost because their role players didn't step up when they needed them the most.
So we got some insanity from the NCAA on the horizon. We're gonna take a quick break, and when I come back, this is absolute insanity. We'll be right back.
I don't mean to interrupt. We got Marlo on camera. Is he violating any OSHA rules while we got him on camera?
Nope.
Like, are we dry snitching? I just want to be.
He got his PPE on. He good.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure. I don't want to like
building.
But I'm just saying, like,
he out there by himself. That ice come through there.
Oh God.
Again, when TB tries to play innocent, we have to run the clips.
I was really trying to figure out what happened because all these shops in California talking about they empty now because ICE picked up all their customers. So I was just trying to figure out if ICE had picked up all his workers.
Oh man. So a decision has not been made yet, but there is an expected decision from the NCAA on to expand the men's and women's NCAA tournament in basketball to add an additional 8 teams.
Like a play-in?
I don't know how they're gonna do it
because they did that shit last year. They already started adding teams.
So an additional what is they have 68 teams now. An additional 8 isn't. They're gonna be playing basketball till June.
No, they ain't because they only get a day between.
Not till June.
They only get a day between.
That is true.
You want to talk about not getting rest? Those first couple rounds, they wasn't getting no rest in college basketball. What's up with basketball adding play-ins? First of all, like this shit is starting to irritate my fucking soul at this point because teams ain't did enough to get into the playoffs by the end of the season. We shouldn't have a tournament to go play in the tournament. If you ain't do good enough in the regular season, that's it. Enjoy Cancun.
You know what it is. You know it's the Big Ten and the SEC trying to squeeze as much money out of all these revenue-generating sports as they can. They're not doing this for the mid-majors. They're not doing this for the HBCUs. They are doing this for the big, and they are doing this for the SEC. That's it. And if we learn,
Carolina had to win a play-in.
If we've learned anything from the baseball tournament, if you keep stacking teams, eventually you'll get a winner. What's going on, Doc? What happened?
Kyrie Irving signed a 3-year deal. Stay with the Mavericks.
Well, he had till tomorrow morning to
he had a decision.
So he signed an extension.
He signed an extension.
Yeah.
So he declined his $43 million player option and intended to sign a 3-year, $119 million contract with the franchise. So
my Rockets still beating that ass.
That's all right, though. We'll see y'all down I-45.
Hey, come on down to the Toyota Center and meet me down there, man.
Sure. Y'all be getting plugged out too much.
when the Mavericks show up. Come on down. Just hop on the 45. It's going to take you right down. Literally Toyota Center.
Toyota Center.
Right on 45.
Before you get to South Houston.
Yep.
But this is good. This is good. Mavericks keep Kyrie. We got AD. He should be. Hopefully, he better be well. Cooper Flag coming in tomorrow. We just signed Daniel Gafford to an extension, 3 years, $60 million extension. So we got we keep our big man. Derek Lively is going to be in for another. He's going to be in. He's still in his rookie contract, so he's not going to really count against our cap like that until probably like next year. I love what we see. We still got Clay. We still got Clay on a 2-year. I think on a 2-year deal. We still got Clay on a 2-year.
Y'all got a little roster. Y'all ain't got no coach though.
Oh wow!
I mean, but that's when you got the big. That's where you got. That's where you can put Gafford at the 5 and
AD should never have played the 5. Like I'm gonna keep saying it.
People's like, no, he needs to get down there on the block. No. Put him at the 4, which is his natural position. Because you still gotta realize the man, his body. Remember, he grew too fast. Like his body couldn't catch up with his body. Because remember when he was in high school, he was like
he went from 6'2" to 6'9" over the summer.
6'9" over the summer.
And then grew another 1.5 inches at Kentucky and won a championship.
So as a parent, I would be mad as shit if we start.
Bro, you gotta buy clothes every other week. Like, what are we doing?
My uncle had the same. He had the same situation with me, man. I went from one summer, I think from my 8th grade to my 9th grade year, I went from 5'10" to 6'1" in a whole summer, bro.
Man, that's some bullshit.
I went from a
I grew
10.5 to a 12 in shoes.
I grew
Yeah.
literally 1 inch a year from high school. I was at 5'5" freshman year. The time I finished, I was 5'9", and I ain't grown since. That was it.
My last
But no.
growth spurt was my sophomore year at state. I grew a half inch to make me 6'1.5". That was it.
That's it, man. But it's a good move for the Mavericks because that means that we are still trying to stay competitive. We are bringing in a guy in Cooper, who can't not. We don't want him to be to save the franchise because the franchise really don't need to be saved. We just want him to come in. You ain't gonna be Luka. Cause I don't think nobody can be Luka Doncic except for Luka. But
if he come in to try and
You
be
need him to
Luka,
be
y'all all
Cooper
gonna
Flag.
yeah, everybody gonna be mad. Cooper Flag actually attempts to play defense.
that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is you come in, do what you got to do. If you can score 30, if you score your rookie year, you can come in and you score 15 points a game, get about 6 or 7 rebounds a game. You know what I'm saying? Play some good defense. Hey, that speaks rookie of the year right there.
Honestly, I feel like Cooper Flag is coming into a situation that not all number 1 overall picks get to walk into.
Right.
And that's walking into a situation where we're not asking you to be Superman. We're not asking you to save the franchise because they already have Kyrie. They already have Anthony Davis. They already have Klay Thompson. They already have these other pieces that have been to the NBA Finals. Everybody on that starting 5 have been to an NBA Finals.
Yeah.
And a couple of them have won one. You know what I mean? Klay got multiple championships. AD won that one with LeBron back in 2020.
Kyrie got his in 2016.
Kyrie got his with LeBron. You know what I mean? And then the rest of those guys, they were in that finals last year when they lost to Boston. So there's a lot of experience in that locker room, a lot of winning experience in that locker room.
There you go.
And again, he's not walking in, hey, we need you to save the franchise.
So the thing with the Mavericks, though, if you really think about it, so we was founded in 1980 as an expansion. We had some dog years, the first couple of years, because we was starting franchise. But then when you get players like Rolando Blackman, Brad Davis, Derek Harper, you had Dallas Shrimp before we had to ship him off to, Seattle. We had Sleepy Sam Perkins, James Donaldson, Roy Tarpley, rest his soul. Like we had a team from that time period from like 80, let's say 85 to about 88. We were good. Like we were one game away from going to the NBA Finals against, we played the Lakers, but hey, the Lakers did what they supposed to do. They champions for a reason. Then you thinking, from 89 to like 92 to 93, you lumped us into this where we were dog shit. We were horrible. Like we were ass water. I'm just put it just like that. But you can see where we started. Don Carter started looking at like, okay, we're gonna draft this kid right here. That's when we got Jim Jackson. It took Jim Jackson a couple of times because he didn't sign his contract all the way from the beginning of the season. He waited to almost towards right before Christmas break to sign his contract. Then the next year, we got Jamal Mashburn. Then the following year, we get Jason Kidd. So you see all that whole dynamic with the 3 J's, and you asking them, hey, win us basketball games. And when you see when all three of them play together, you seen a significant jump in win totals from, I think, the year when we got Jamal Mashburn, we only won like 20 games. Then you see us jump to we jump to like 31 games. But then, of course, internal beef over a woman.
And can y'all just stop acting like we didn't know who y'all was beefing over?
Yeah, you know you were beefing over Tony Braxton.
Like, stop.
I mean, they were beefing over Tony Braxton.
Like,
so, and then you ship off Jason Kidd to Phoenix, and Jim Jackson gets hurt. Jamal Mashburn had to carry the team. You ship him off to Charlotte.
Yeah, he went to Charlotte.
And then guess what? We were dog water again until you ended up. So shipping off Jason Kidd to Phoenix ended up getting us Steve Nash and Michael Finley. Those two right there. So it started. You see the piece started coming together, and then of course, Don Carter. They go draft Dirk. Well, they didn't draft him. They traded for him in the draft because we was originally supposed to get Paul Pierce, but we switched. We supposed to not Paul Pierce. We originally supposed to get a tractor trailer. We switched. Dirk comes here. Trailer goes up to Milwaukee. God rest his soul. And then it's like, okay, this is our big three. Y'all go win us some games. And then, like I said, people, it really just kicked off when Mark Cuban bought the team in 2000. When he bought the team in 2000, he saw how the previous ownership ran the team. He ran it. The previous ownership ran it like it was at a thrift store. like it was the Goodwill Foundation. And he was like, I'm not about to treat my players like that. So things that you see what the NBA doing now was to a test from Mark Cuban. Like you said last week, TP with the Golden State Warriors, who don't treat their players just like that. Even though Cuban gone, he not really gone. He still live in Dallas and still come to the games. He's a governor emeritus, I think, if I'm not mistaken, but he just don't have majority ownership of the team.
Yeah, right.
But to see that, and you see Dirk do it for 21 straight years, and then in between that time, we get Luka, and we tell him like, well, you ain't got to win us games because you're just trying to keep us afloat. Hey, and then you find out this dude was a bad motherfucker.
That is a level of loyalty when you really think about it, though, because Dirk was there 21 years and won one championship.
Yeah.
Who else is getting that many opportunities, to still be the star player? And I get it. They had brought in Jason Kidd. They tried to get him some help here and there, but that's loyalty to a team. That's loyalty from a team to a player at the highest level. You won't see that anywhere else.
So yeah, when you think about it, like we have kind of like a levels to where we at right now, and shit, Nico better be glad his job is saved because we gonna run his ass out, man. Hey, we gonna that man could have been at DFW. Quick, fast, in a hurry. We ain't gonna run his ass out of town.
That man saved y'all franchise. Y'all just don't know it yet.
Oh no, I'm not gonna say that he didn't do it. I think he knew what was going. I think he knew the writing was on the wall. Like, what can Luka do for us right now? Nothing. Because we see when he goes to the Lakers, what happened to the Lakers when he went over to the Lakers? What happened to them in the playoffs?
Same thing. They're saying the exact same thing that they were saying in Dallas. Conditioning, championship mentality. All of that stuff followed him because he has not changed who he is. Hopefully over the summer he changes, but we'll see. Real quick, because I don't want to run us too over. The NFL arbiter said that NFL urged clubs to limit guaranteed deals, but did not collude.
What? That sounds like collusion. And I need Gene Upshaw to do his job.
No, Gene Upshaw passed away.
Yeah,
I mean, not Gene Upshaw. Who's the guy that's running it now?
Well, that's who brought them to the arbiter. Because if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, the NFL has a monopoly exemption, so they don't get sued necessarily in court unless it goes too far. Everything is done through arbitration, and some of the evidence was cited. NFL owners was texting other owners saying, "Hey, this is what we're trying to do. We don't want to be like the Cleveland Browns and give all that guaranteed money." Is Pablo Torre finds out, breaks it down beautifully. I watched a little bit of it today, breaks it down beautifully. But if you go to an arbitrator, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to come out of your favor, just so you know. But yeah, that's out there. It is the NBA draft coming up. The player that I want to see most, and it's a lot of controversy around him, Ace Bailey. I like his game. But Ace Bailey.
Ain't from
correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he's from Rutgers.
Rutgers, yeah.
By the way, Rutgers having that much talent and make no noise. If I'm the AD, I got questions.
I think that was coaching.
That's why I would have questions. So, but he's an intriguing character. He's only 18 years old. His game, the possibilities of his game is limitless, but a lot of people are concerned that he didn't go to individual workouts with teams. He's 18. He's going to do 18-year-old stuff. So, and we got to acknowledge sometimes these kids don't always have the best structure around them. So you got to bring the kid in, give him some structure, and help him succeed, even if you see that he may fall short. So you got to do your due diligence as a franchise. So, again, we'll respond to the draft on Thursday. And then in the group chat, Jamal put in an interesting little tweet about Caitlin Clark, who was rapidly becoming my favorite supervillain until I found out she was Derek Zoolander. And if this is a persistent thing, I'm going to have big questions. Because if you can't go left, you only got one look. No. Because see, I can turn this way. I can turn that way. See, I got multiple looks. Can't be Derek Zoolander. You can't.
Man, but there's a lot of players that can't go left.
Oh, absolutely.
They dominant hand is their right hand, but they can still blow by you.
They can still blow by you, but when they go left, they pulling up for jumpers, so on and so forth. I'm just saying, if you gonna be the supervillain, you have to be the supervillain. You can't be this newfangled Lex Luthor. You got to be the Gene Hackman Lex Luthor. That's the Lex Luthor you got to be. And yes, I just took a shot at the new Superman movie. I don't like it.
Did you watch it?
It ain't out yet. I don't like it already.
He already passed. That's Troy for you, though. I am. Ain't even seen the shit.
As soon as I seen Superdog, I was like, yep. We used to make fun of that cartoon with other cartoons, but we'll talk about that another day. But again, Caitlin, you got to be a better supervillain. My rookie of the year is Paige. I like Paige game. She is a super her role that we deserve. Absolutely. Love her game. I think Dallas might make the playoffs too this year, right?
We started off slow, man. We started off real slow. We talked about the coaching. Coaching is trash.
Standings and maybe not. Maybe not. But my aces, they might be okay. They might be okay. Look like they got healthy and they shook some things off. I still it's still MV McPhee because she is absolutely hooping for Minnesota. Maybe they get it done this year. We'll definitely have to see. But in some local Tallahassee news, Charlie Ward is rapidly putting together a staff and a recruiting class that I might start believing the hype. If you've ever followed Florida State basketball, Leonard Hamilton put together what I call a team of truck drivers. He would put together a couple solid scores, a bunch of dudes that can rebound, and a bunch of dudes that can play defense. That's what Charlie is putting together. Now, if he get that 7'2" dude, a 7'2" dude from Africa, I'm going to feel like Leonard Hamilton is making phone calls because that's his playbook. Let me get a couple 6'11" dudes or a couple 7-foot dudes. Florida State at one point had 3 7-footers on the squad. So Charlie is slowly putting in work, and we are going to get Charlie on the show at some point.
Charlie Ward?
Yeah, we're going to get him on the show at some point.
Hey, I'm down for it. Let's go.
We have Florida A&M has a very good, very communicative sports information director that responds to emails and phone calls. Absolutely love the guy. Absolutely love SID Driscoll. Absolutely love him. You can't tell me nothing bad about that dude. We have not. I don't think we've had this kind of communication with the sports information office at FAMU until he got there. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's growth. That's growth. See what I did there? See what I did there? I sent a shot without.
You always talking about some growth.
I am growing. I am becoming.
Where is Marlo at?
I don't know.
We need him to verify this growth that you speak of.
Wait. Excuse me, y'all. Whew. First off, my growth is way better than Marlo growth. Y'all already know that. We see in real time Marlo, but I am getting better as a person. But again, it's June. Take that for what it is. It's June.
It is June.
God forbid if we beat Bama. I don't know. I honestly don't know how I would react. I don't. I think I might actually pick up the phone, call Florida State, and try and get Mike on the show. That'll be, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. We beat Bama, I'm gonna do everything in my power to get Mike on the show. And apologize on the show.
I need Charlie Ward on the show.
Yeah, we definitely we're gonna get Charlie on the show. We're definitely gonna get assistant athletic director Johnson. I just got to try and figure out the schedule, so we're gonna definitely try and get her on the show as well, because we really do need to talk about how the House settlement, this 105 roster limit, affects FAMU and other SWAT schools. Also, we didn't touch on it tonight, but we will on Thursday. The state of Florida has allowed schools to use up to $22.5 million in auxiliary funds to pay for revenue sharing and NIL. The state of Louisiana is doing something similar, but through tax revenue. So they're going to use tax revenue because the governor did sign that bill. Because I had a question. I actually asked Yard Talk, hey, I don't know if LSU fans are like the Bootskins, but if he don't sign that bill, the Bootskins would lose their mind. I think LSU fans would lose their mind the same way. So again, it was not what was done in Florida was not done to help Florida A&M. It was just a byproduct benefit of helping Florida State, the Bootskins, FIU, USF, and all of them, the UCF. I think the similar situation, Doc, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they're looking to help Grambling and Southern. It's just a byproduct of them being state schools, right?
Right.
Okay, so we kind of
and then the state of Louisiana owed Grambling and Southern a shitload of money anyway.
Yeah. So them and to be clear, I have not read completely through the Louisiana bill, but it's the money that they're going to get is through the taxes on gambling. How much that will be per school, they didn't really lay it out. I'm assuming it would be the 22.5 that everybody is allowed across the NCAA. How they would divvy that up for Grambling and Southern is to be determined. So we'll see that as well. But those are some interesting updates. As we have seen that they have become the community provocateurs, I'm going to reach out tonight to No Chill Sports and see if I can get the guys onto the show. Because if they're going to be running through the streets throwing rocks, we might as well have them on the show and let them throw rocks on the show. I think that's only fair. And one of the North Carolina A&T people asked me to get Banks on here. I didn't ask Banks to come on here tonight because I need to give a sermon. I will have Banks on when we get closer to the season.
Not a sermon.
And actually have not a way too early, but just a way too early MEAC prediction show. So we'll get that done. Maybe even have Josh on. I don't know. maybe have Josh on because my eyebrows go back real fast, and it's a long season.
So you already lost them once.
And you see they grow back quick, don't they? That's good genes. That's good genes there.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I thought you was cooked, my boy.
No, I
thought it was over with.
Yeah, I grow hair back real fast. So, like, except for that one little spot in the middle of my head, because I'm like, dude, like it's hair everywhere else. Just this one little spot. I need you to grow. But somebody said I can get that Beyonce stuff, put it there, and my hair grow. I don't know if that's true or not. But I don't worry about the bit in the hair and chest hair and all of that. I don't worry about that because the hair grow back. That's a couple of weeks. I'm good. I'm back looking like regular me. And to that dude who said I ain't got no eyebrows, so I ain't losing nothing anyway, I ain't forgot. I remember what you said.
Yeah, but tell homies to come on to the podcast, man. I like to talk shit. They seem like they like to talk shit. We can talk shit.
They do. Oh man, they do. Let's
get it. I'm for all the smoke.
Yeah, so we got to get them on the podcast. Definitely gonna interview them during Media Day, SWAT Media Day, because again, they were amongst the best people that I met at SWAT Media Day. So I think, did I hit everything? I want to make sure I hit everything. If I forgot something, let me know, because we definitely gave Southern Miss all the smoke they can deserve. But oh man, I'm gonna go on here. So again, I want to thank everybody for coming to this evening sermon. Again, I love everybody. Jackson State people, North Carolina A&T people. I love everybody. I love HBCU sports. I love Florida State. But that being said, our hearts go out to Jamal. He lost his dad last week, and I want everybody to show him as much love as possible. I know what that's like. It is, no matter how long you've been with your dad, losing your dad is a big thing. So I'm praying for grace, joyful memories as he mourns the loss of his dad. But the real reason that I'm here this evening is I watched a couple of documentaries like last night because I couldn't sleep. And the second documentary I saw was Surviving Ohio State. And this has been a documentary in the making for a very long time. And I did not know the depth of what was going on at Ohio State. I won't spoil it for everybody, but I will encourage you to go watch it. It is on Hulu. Real quick, Ohio State's fencing coach. That lady is the definition of a hero. Definition of a hero. Because when everybody else was looking the other way, for whatever reason, whether it was the fact that maybe the doctor was giving the wrestling and football players steroids and nobody wanted to find that out, or if it's the fact that the school been knowing that he has been SAing players for years on end, I don't know. But Ohio State, the institution, failed soccer players, football players, wrestlers. And the wrestlers got the main bulk of the shot. The number of offenses were up to 2,600. They were willing to settle 170. And the only reason they were willing to settle was because if the real number came out, it would be astronomical. Shout out to those players who refused to take $250,000 a person. When every other settlement that was comparable, Michigan State with Larry Nassar, it was like 1.5 million per. 250,000 was shameful. And what was more shameful was that Ohio State went into state court and tried to say that statute of limitations had expired. This isn't Ohio State versus Michigan in court. This is Ohio State versus Ohio State. The kids that you were, and they're grown men now, grandfathers and fathers now, the men you were in charge to protect, and a Hall of Fame wrestling coach who said he would stand up for the players after all this was found out went MIA on those guys. And we are not a political podcast, and we don't normally become political. But Jim Jordan in the House of Representatives was the coach, assistant coach of Ohio State wrestling. A wrestling referee told you about said doctor masturbating in the shower with him, and you gonna say you didn't know what was going on when you told the referee, well, that's just Dr. So-and-so. The worst part about it is there will be no justice for these players because the doctor has passed away. He committed suicide in 2005. I say all this to say this. You can say you love an institution, but what makes an institution lovable is the people in it. When you act as a building cold and uncaring, you are not the institution. You are just a building. That's my time. I want to thank everybody for watching me. What you got for us this week, sir? Muted. Oh, my bad. You muted.
It was a great NBA season. You know, congratulations to OKC. Like I said, shy with the triple crown when it comes to MVPs. Hosting that trophy at the end, that's a big deal. Don't let nobody take that away from you. You are a champion. You will always be a champion. But moving on to the off season, my Rockets didn't waste no time, man. We right back in the fold. Kevin Durant trade. I heard a lot of mixed feelings about it. You know, we trading away our future and everything. Can we why we didn't develop Jalen Green? And I think that the timetable was up. There were a lot of off the court antics. There were the issues with him not showing up in the playoffs. We got knocked out in the first round. And a lot of that had to do with his performance. He did not show up in the biggest moments. The lights were too bright. I get it. He's young and he can still develop into a great player. But for us to win this year, this season coming up, the Rockets organization felt like the best opportunity was to get an aging Kevin Durant, because we know that he's at the end of his career. We don't need him to come in and be the best player on the team. We have Segan for that. But 26 points a game, if we can get that amount of production, there's no telling what we can do. Can we get out of the first round? Can we get out of the second round, get to the Western Conference Finals, which we haven't been to in a very long time? Can we do these things, you know, post-trade? And I think that we have a great opportunity to do so. There's still a whole offseason to be had. We are literally days into the offseason. So how our roster looks today isn't how it's going to look come October. So with that, I feel like my Rockets have a great chance of repeating some of that success from last year. We won over 50 games. Can we make it 55? Can we get up to 60? I think it's very doable. Kevin Durant is going to be a huge part of that if he's able to stay healthy, if he's able to produce like Kevin Durant of old. The little things. Can we play defense? Van Vliet. We get another year of progression out of Amin Thompson and Jabari Smith. We have a lot of pieces on the team that got another year under their belt. Time to make that jump, man. This is the year. So I thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all on Thursday. We're going to find out who, you know, we know what the number one pick, Cooper Flag, that's probably all said and done, but we're going to see how 2 through the rest of the first round go, and we'll have more to talk about.
Doc, what you got for us this week, sir?
We're going to continue that discussion on SWAC. You know, SWAC football. Is it like church? Is it like being in a Baptist church or so like that? So I'm gonna continue that. Also, go ahead and talk about the attendees for the SWAC Media Day. So I'm gonna do that. And last but not least, like I just put out a commercial coming in July. It's going to be I'm gonna have a new thing coming out called Women Love Football. So for all the women, we're gonna talk about the upcoming season for their respective teams, what they expect to come about for this season, and what they look forward to, what made them like football, love football, and stuff like that. So that's something that we're going to talk about. First person on the show is going to be Miss Tashay Woods. FAMU Skirts and Sports. So she's going to be the first person that's going to be on the show. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm very ecstatic about this. Shout out to my wife who done a remarkable hell of a job with all the flyers, and the video. Also, she did the new intro for the show. That was a great thing that she's done. She's doing a hell of, like I said, she's doing a hell of a job. Something that probably would have taken me about 4, 5, 6 days to figure out. She figured it all out in 2 hours. But she's done a hell of a job doing that. And we got some other things coming out in the near future. So basketball season is over. We're getting into the gist of baseball season, which is about to be into the All-Star break in a couple of weeks. And then we got football talk from here on out. And I just want to know if the MEAC is really who they say that they are. So, and if they want to come in and stand on their 2 feet, they have every opportunity to come on the show. But other than that, as always, be blessed, be safe, hug your loved ones, love on your loved ones, crash out on your kids. Donald Trump's a real hoe. I'm gonna just say it just like that. And don't believe the hype. We're gonna see y'all on Thursday. Be easy.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Definitely was a fun show. Fun show. Did a little something out my comfort zone. Well, it's church, so it's in my comfort zone. I'm comfortable in church. But there's something a little different this week for everybody here at Fatmouth Sports, HBCU OverDrive, the Madness Basketball Podcast. We are out.